Hey, thanks for watching the Green Room Recipes. Today we're going to make braised beef stroganoff with garlic-buttered egg noodles. This rich and hearty, sour cream-laced Russian stew was on the menu since day one. No matter what time of year, it seems like we were always selling out of it, even in summertime where it gets ridiculously hot here in New Orleans. It seems so crazy to me to crave such a wintry dish when it's 9,000 degrees outside. But it really is just that good, and we would have a hard time keeping up with customer demand even in August. So let's have some summer fun and make some beef stroganoff. Alright, let's gather all this shit together. I'll also list these ingredients in the description of the video. First thing you're going to want to do is set aside a stick of butter. We're going to make some garlic butter with this later, so we just got to get it to room temperature. Step 2. Let's dice an onion and some carrots. We're looking for a pretty chunky dice here. It's a pretty hearty dish. No particular shape and size, however you like it. Set them aside in a bowl and shake them up for no reason. Step 3. Chop some garlic and herbs. Do about 2-3 cloves of garlic on your board, or you could do it in a food processor. And also chop about a tablespoon's worth of thyme and rosemary. Just mince it fine and add it to your chopped garlic. Step 4. We're going to trim and dice the beef. I'm using a 3-pound chuck roast, just removing some of the extra fat, cutting it into strips, and dicing it into 1-inch cubes. I guess you could just skip this step entirely and buy stew meat from the grocery store, but I find they leave a little bit too much fat on it and it makes the stew kind of greasy. Whatever you decide, you want 2.5 pounds of trimmed and diced beef. Step 5. Season the beef. Got your bowl of trimmed and diced beef here. Add about a tablespoon of vegetable oil, a teaspoon of kosher salt, and roughly 30 cracks of freshly ground black pepper. Then put on a pair of latex gloves and mix your beef and seasoning together thoroughly. Step 6. Sear the beef. Use a pot with a tight-fitting lid. Set it on the stove over high heat. Get it blazing hot and add about a tablespoon of oil. Add your beef to the pot and spread it out a little bit so that it browns more evenly. Let it sit for about 2 or 3 minutes and stir it around a couple of times so it browns all over. After about 4 or 5 minutes, or until the beef is fully browned, remove from the pot into a bowl and set aside. Step 7. Sweat the veggies. In the same pot, add about a tablespoon of oil over high heat and then add all of your diced vegetables. Season your vegetables with about a teaspoon of kosher salt and some freshly ground black pepper and let cook over high heat for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. Step 8. Add garlic and herbs. After your onions start to become translucent, add your minced garlic and herbs. And stir occasionally and cook for another 5 or 6 minutes until the garlic is toasted. Step 9. Add the tomato paste. You want about a tablespoon's worth of tomato paste. Stir it up and toast it in the hot pan for about 2 minutes to remove the canned flavor. Step 10. Add a couple shakes of allspice. Stir it up in the hot pot and let it toast for about 30 seconds to release the flavors. Step 11. Add the beef back to the pot. You want to get all the beef and all the accumulated juices back in the pot, stir it all up to combine all the flavors. Step 12. Add the beef stock. You want to add enough beef stock so that the beef and veggies are just barely poking through the surface. Give everything a good stir and bring it to a boil. Step 13. Cover and simmer. After it comes to a boil, you want to cover it with a tight-fitting lid, set the heat to low, and put it on the back burner for an hour and a half. You can use this time to take a dance break with your homeboy. After an hour and a half, remove the lid, raise the heat a tiny bit, and let the stew reduce for another half hour while you work on the rest of the dish. Step 15. A short but crucial step. Put on a pot of salted water to boil for your egg noodles while you work on the rest of the dish. Step 16. Sauté the mushrooms. Get a sauté pan blazing hot over high heat and add about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Rinse some sliced mushrooms and add them to the hot pan. Add a little bit of salt and pepper and let them saute until they're completely cooked. While all this is happening, keep an eye on your stew and make sure that there's still a bit of liquid left. If there's too much liquid reduced, the stew will burn on the bottom. Step 17, let's finish the stroganoff. After a half an hour of reducing, your stew should be pretty thick with just a little bit of liquid left, so add the rest of the ingredients, starting with your sauteed mushrooms, a cup of frozen peas, a half a cup of brown mustard, the juice of half a lemon, and a pint of sour cream. Stir everything together until all the ingredients are thoroughly combined and give it a taste for salt. Right here mine was pretty much spot on, but adjust as you see necessary. Put the lid back on and keep warm over low heat. Step 18. Make garlic dill butter. Chop up a bunch of dill, enough to make about a tablespoon's worth, and add it to the butter you had set aside in step 1. Peel 1 large clove of garlic and grate it into the butter using a microplane or a garlic press. Using the same microplane, zest about a half a lemon into the butter, or you can just use a squirt of lemon juice if you don't have a microplane. Add a half a cup of grated parmesan cheese and mix everything together with a fork until it's thoroughly combined. Step 19. Boil the egg noodles. Add a 1-pound bag of wide egg noodles to your boiling water and let them cook for 3-4 minutes or until they're al dente. Strain the noodles and put them back into the pot you used to cook them. Step 20. Butter the noodles. Add all the garlic dill butter to all of the hot boiled noodles and combine them thoroughly. And now it's time to get some. Get your noodles, get you a scoop of beef stroganoff, and enjoy. So good the earth started shaking. Seriously, better than at the restaurant. If you have the time on a hot summer day to lock yourself into your air-conditioned kitchen and make some beef stroganoff, I highly recommend it. Hearty, savory, and downright delicious any time of year. I hope you give this a try. See y'all next time. Love you. Bye.